National Calendar. We are at the second curtain raiser program for the two-day conference and exhibition to be organized at Ujjain and Dongla on 2nd and 3rd Vaisakh 1944, which is the 22nd and 23rd April 2022. We have a gracious presence of an esteemed guest for the today's second curtain raiser program. We have a chief guest, Professor Srinivas Bali, Vice Chancellor of Nurpatunga University, Bangalore. We have guest of honor, Dr. P. Radhakrishna, Director, LRDE, DRDO. We have a presence of National Organizing Secretary, Vigyana Bharati, Shri Jayanta Sahasrabuddhe. We have a Director of Indian Institute of Astrophysics, Professor Annapurni Subramaniam. We have a National Secretary of Vigyana Bharati, Shri Vivekananda Pai. I request all of them to please come onto the dais. I request Ramesh ji, who is a member of Secretary of Swadeshi Vigyan Andolan Karnataka, to escort all of them. Faculty at Indian Institute of Sciences, former faculty of Indian Institute of Sciences. As per the tradition of Indian Institute of Astrophysics, I request Professor K.I. Basu to please have the plant water to the plant so that we can start the function, and I also request all the dignitaries to be part of this watering the plant. Madam. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all. As per the information on WhatsApp, this program is getting telecasted from 3 different places. One is the YouTube channel of Vigyana Bharati, the YouTube channel of Rashtriya Dinadarshika Prachara Manch, and of course on the YouTube channel of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Ministry of Culture. This is the first time at the national level to ignite the minds of the people of the country. The idea of having 2-day conference and exhibition at Ujjain has been conceived by Vigyana Bharati. And subsequently, this initiative has been joined by various government and non-government organizations. To name few of them, this, if we look at the history of Indian National Calendar, this calendar was being proposed and later on being adopted by the Parliament of India, this particular calendar reform committee was led by Dr. Meghnad Saha and 5 different members of the committee. And after the adoption, this is the one calendar which was been largely been not in the common use, which was been realized by many of the members as well as the institutions. And one of the very leading social organization named Rashtriya Dinadarshika Prachar Manch, who is working from Aurangabad in Maharashtra. They are the one of the organizing partner of this function and have been publicizing this national calendar since last more than 15 years. And they have been part of this to take the message of this national calendar to the people of the country. Subsequently, this committee was actually led by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. And obviously, the CSIR was been requested to be part of this organizing team. So CSIR, along with the Department of Science and Technology, and institutions under the CSIR like National Institute of Science Communication and Policy Research, Vijnana Prasar, Indian Institute of Astrophysics, where we all are conducting the second curtain raiser program, Aryabhatta Institute of Observational Science, Nainital, and Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology are the institutions from the Department of Science and Technology who has joined this initiative. And as an organizing partner, I'm getting hosted at Ujjain. The Vikram University is part of this particular program, along with Madhya Pradesh Council of Science and Technology from Bhopal, and of course, IIT Indore, who are part of this organizing team, along with the Sanskrit University from Ujjain. So in a way, this particular program is jointly getting organized by more than 12 different institutions and organizations of this country. We are at the second curtain raiser program at Indian Institute of Astrophysics. And we really got a heartfelt welcome by all the faculty members of IIA under the leadership of Dr. Annapurni Subramaniam ma'am. Before I could invite her for the opening remark, it is essential that all our guests need to be welcome. And that's the reason I invite Shri Vivekananda Pai, National Secretary of Vijnana Bharati, to please come and welcome all the guests.
We may not be able to say the whole world, at least India is slowly coming out of the pandemic. And today the numbers are quite low. And Annapurni madam was telling me just now, that it is after quite a long time, almost 2 years gap. Today morning they had a hybrid program, and this is probably the second program offline that we are having. And we are extremely glad to have this second curtain raiser of this very important event. It is actually not an event. This is an activity in a way we can say that a continuation of the freedom movement that got us freedom in 1947. And today we are in the 75th year, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav we are celebrating. So a time has come where we have to see the symbols of national identity and regain them, so that we all get the confidence, the Atma Vishwas, to take our country to a Atmanirbhar Bharat. That was the message that also came out of the directors' conference that happened 2 days back at Hyderabad. And in this context, a lot of importance is there for the way we count our days. I'll just briefly mention 2 aspects. The Judean calendar that we are following today, which initially came into existence in 753 BC, when the Roman Empire started and it was growing, it had 304 days. But then they found out that there is a problem. So then in 46 BC, Julius Caesar, he declared that we will have 151 days more. So we had a calendar of 455 days. Initially, there were 10 months. Most of this we all know. And the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th month were named September for 7th, October for 8th, November for 9th, and December for 10th. Anyway, Julius Caesar added one more month and named it after himself. Like today we are talking about dynasty. So it was there since that time. So he named it after himself. And after 38 years, Augustus came. So by that time they had realized that this is not going anywhere. So they retained it to 365 days and made it 12 months. And Augustus gave his own name for the 12th month. So it was August, and the initial 6 months were named after 8 months after Janus, the January of their goddesses and all, and the grandfather and the grandson. And after that, what was left? That is September, October, November, December. That was pushed 4 spaces, and we had the 12th month as the December. So this is an ad hoc mechanism, we all know. But what was the situation in our country? In Rigveda itself, it's 25th Sukta, 8th mantra. It says, Veda maso dhritavrto dwadasha prajavata vedaya upajayate. It means the Varuna Deva, he knows that the 12 months without fail, routinely grow, that look after the beings and their growth. And he also knows that there is an Adhigamasa which comes. So in the Rigveda times itself, it was very clearly mentioned that there are 12 months and there will be an Adhigamasa, which we today call leap month. And we see further, in Ramayana, there is description about the 12 years that Rama went for Vanavasa. In Mahabharata, there is the 12 years of Vanavasa, and after that there is a big heated argument in the Rajya Sabha about whether the 12 years are completed or not, and Bhishma justifying that their thing is over. So since that time, both lunar and solar calendars, we had the exact timing. We are talking about inquiry is the basis of science. So where is our sense of inquiry when we follow a calendar which is ad hoc? And we are also talking about scientific temper. So what is our scientific temper? These are fundamental questions that have to be answered if we have to really make progress in the field of science and have achieved the global leadership in science and technology. Without looking at fundamental original questions, we cannot achieve this concept of inquiry is the basis of science. This is where Vigyan Bharati thought of starting out this debate, and we are extremely glad that many institutions are coming together, and in this context today for this program, we are all blessed by the presence of, in a way, one of the doyens of Indian science. He has probably he has the largest number of PhDs created. Professor K. Vasu, he was, as Arvindji mentioned, he was a faculty of Indian Institute of Science, a former director of SECRI, a former pro-vice chancellor of CUSAT. For the paucity of time, I'm not going more into that detail. We are extremely glad and welcome you, sir, to this program. Professor K. Vasu, he is also the founder of Vigyan. Dr. Annapurni Subramaniam is welcoming him with a plant of tulsi. Yeah.
Now it's open.
May also take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Annapurni Subramaniam, the director of this institute, for hosting this program. May now request a Tulsi plant to be provided to the director also. Arvindji. I also take this opportunity to welcome our chief guest, Professor Srinivas S. Balli, Vice Chancellor, Nirpatunga University, Bangalore.
That's it.
May I request, I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. P. Radhakrishna, Director, LRD, Bangalore. It's a DRDO laboratory. And also Shri Jayanta Sahasrabuddhe, National Organizing Secretary, Vigyan Bharati. Because of the COVID restrictions still in the stage of being eased off, we have limited the physical presence of audience in this hall. At the same time, we are also having a online virtual access to this program from different parts, as Jayanta Arvind ji already mentioned, from 3 channels. I also welcome all the dignitaries who are participating in this program from here also, as well as online. And welcome to all, and let us get into the program, please.
Thank you, Vivek ji. As I said, this program is under the initiative of Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav, under the program Dhara of an Ministry of Culture in association with all the organizations at national and the regional level. Now, to have the opening remarks by the Honourable Director of Indian Institute of Astrophysics, I request Dr. Annapurni Subramaniam to please come and have our opening remarks.
Namaskar and welcome. I welcome all the dignitaries to the campus and also all the office bearers of Vigyan Bharati to this campus, and my pranams to all the elders in the audience. We are very happy to have the chief guest, Professor Srinivas Balli, who is the VC of Nirpatunga University, Bangalore. Welcome, sir. We have guest of honor, Dr. P. Radhakrishna, Director, LRD, Bangalore. Welcome to Shri Ujjain Sahasrabuddhe, National Organizing Secretary, Vibha, Delhi. We welcome Dr. Arvind Ranade from Vigyan Prasar. We have Shri Vivek Pai, National Secretary, Vibha, and all the other esteemed members who are present in the audience, and those who are present online to watch this program. This is a curtain raiser for the 2-day conference and exhibition on National Calendar of India. And for this effort, there are many ministries which are part of this campaign. And this is also organized as part of the 75th year of Indian independence, that is the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And as part of the efforts from the Department of Science and Technology, a few institutions are part of this, and Indian Institute of Astrophysics is part of it. We are very happy to be part of this curtain raiser program. And we look forward to participating in the two-day conference and exhibition in the, I think in Ujjain, staged for 22nd and 23rd of April. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the program, and I once again thank you all for coming over here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. As I said, the idea of taking up this Indian national calendar to the people of the country, who can be better person to speak about this initiative and how it really links to the identity of our country. I request Shri Jayanta Sahasrabuddhe, National Organizing Secretary, to please come and have a keynote address on this important topic.
Respected director of this institute, Dr. Annapurniji, respected dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Radhakrishna ji and Professor Srinivas ji. We are really fortunate enough to have most respected Dr. Vasuji, who is a founder of Vigyan Bharati and one of the foremost scientists of our country. My colleagues are also there, Vivekananda ji and Arvind ji. Ramesh ji is also here. And there are many others who are attending this program physically, as well as there are many brothers and sisters who have joined this program through a digital platform. So I welcome everyone. I extend my greetings to all of you. As it has been mentioned already, this program is a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. We have entered the 75th year of independence after completing the journey of independent India of 74 years. Our Prime Minister, when he was initiating the idea of celebrating this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, he told us that we should celebrate this entire year based on the 5 ideas. He said these are the 5 pillars to celebrate this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Those 5 pillars are like this. First is freedom struggle, Swatantrata Andolan. Second one is ideas at 75. Third one is achievements at 75. Fourth one is actions at 75. And fifth one is resolves at 75. And he said that we need to regain our identity, lost glory of our country through all kind of efforts. And he said, as we are marching towards the 100th year of independence, that we are going to celebrate in the year 2047, these 25 years are for us to regain the lost glory of our country. So we all know that the people who invaded our country, they had a great idea of destroying identity of our country in order to subjugate us. Because no one can rule any country without destroying identity of the natives of that country. There were many invaders before British, and they had different tools to subjugate and rule this country. But British people especially exercised or administered science as a tool to subjugate and rule this country. So science was the most potent tool of British people to destroy our identity and subjugate all of us. So that was their tool. And they destroyed the great identity of our country using science, utilizing science. So there is a research paper by one of the known astrophysicists of our country, Dr. Rajesh Kochar. He recently passed away, unfortunately, but he wrote a research paper with this title, Science Utilized as a Tool to Consolidate Colonial Rule in India. And in that paper, he has explained with great details that how British people exercised or administered science as a tool to subjugate this country. And we know that our country was known to the people across the globe as a great country which has produced great amount of knowledge about many walks of life, and science being the foremost stream of those different streams of knowledge. Once Einstein told everyone that we need to be grateful to India, we owe a lot to Indians because they have taught us how to count, without which this great development of science would not have been possible. So people used to look at India, to our country, with that great respect. They used to tell people that this is a country which has given us great knowledge of science, so we should respect them. But British people came here and they made us feel that whatever you had as a knowledge was utterly regressive in nature. So that kind of opinion was developed by British people in our educated class. And unfortunately, even after gaining independence, even today, our people feel that Indian knowledge system was most regressive in nature. But we know that our entire civilization, culture was based on science. And our calendric system was one of the symbols of that scientific tradition of our country. That calendric system of our country was erased or destroyed by British people, and they imposed their calendric system on us. So it was very natural that immediately after gaining independence, our people had a thought that now we should replace alien calendric system with that of ours. And a calendar reform committee was organized or constituted under the aegis of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research in 1952 under the chairmanship of none other than one of the well-known astrophysicists of our country, Dr. Meghnad Saha. And there were 5 experts who were assisting him in formulating India's national calendar. This committee took 5 years. They had a very rigorous scientific effort to formulate this national calendar for our country. And after 5 years, they presented this calendar, which was to be known as national calendar of our country, to our parliament. And they said 22nd of March, it is a date of Gregorian calendar, where this spring vernal equinox occurs. That should be the first day of new year of our national calendar. So they proposed that, and it was duly adopted and accepted by our parliament. And that was the year 1957, and the first day of March, that is 22nd. So that was a Chaitra 8 of Shaka 1879. So they adopted Shaka as a system of counting years. So today we have entered, means in this year, this is now Shaka Chaitra 8 of Shaka 1944. So it was adopted, accepted by our parliament, and even today that is in use mainly in all official government works. Recently I met Shri Arjun Meghwal, who is a state minister for culture, and when we had a discussion with him, he was going to parliament. Before that, we went to his home, and he showed me a question which was put to him in the parliament by one of the parliamentary members. And he said, "This, see this, that was a day, 21st of March. And he said, how it has been written over here, 21st of March / Falgun 30, peace, because that being the last day of last year, last day of year 1943, Shaka 1943. So he showed me that. See, this is how we put or we use our national calendar in Parliament. But unfortunately, beyond Parliament, no one knows. People, they know many things like national bird, national flower, but we have regrettably forgotten this national symbol of our country, which is known as national calendar. So we thought that this is the most opportune time. This Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav has offered us an opportunity to celebrate our national calendar, because this was an effort to regain our national identity. So we thought that let us work on this concept. So we approached Ministry of Culture. They happily accepted our proposal and they said, we are a part of this effort. We will join this activity. So likewise, we approached many other scientific institutions, CSIR, because under CSIR, this calendar reform committee was constituted. Department of Science and Technology, because they are very much related with propagation of science in our country. And there are many other institutes and organizations which are working, they are working related to this idea, like Ayuka is there in Pune, Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics. So naturally, they are very much related with this. II, naturally a part of this entire domain. Then we approached Vikram University because we had a thought that we should have this program at Ujjain, because for all our almanacs in our country, Ujjain was a reference point. We call it as a Nagari of Mahakal. So concept of time was very much related with this Ujjain. So we thought that we need to have this program over there, 2 days conference. So we did approach Vikram University, which is a local university of Madhya Pradesh. So Vice Chancellor of that university happily agreed to be a part of this activity. Then there is Madhya Pradesh Council of Science and Technology, because they promote science in Madhya Pradesh. Then there is IIT Indore, recently started some 12 years ago. And fortunately, they have a department of astronomy and astrophysics. So very young people working over there as teachers and students, they were happy to be a part of it. So likewise, we approached many people. Then there are institutes or organizations like Rashtriya Dinadarshika Prachar Manch. It's a voluntary organization. For several years, they are in the process of creating awareness about this national calendar in our country. And their volunteers are doing great service to our country by promoting this Rashtriya Dinadarshika, national calendar. So we approached them also. So they happily joined this effort. So likewise, we could get several institutions and organizations along with several individuals who are working on this concept. And together, we are going to celebrate this national calendar with so many activities. And that last activity will be the two-day conference at Ujjain, which has been told to us by Dr. Arvind Ranade. And there we will have a congregation of almost 300 people who will be participating over there. And they will take that message to different parts of our country. Because we need to promote this Indian national calendar, because it is very much scientific in nature. Through this calendar, we can promote science, we can create awareness about science, we can create scientific temper in our society through this calendar. So this is very much important for our society, that through this calendar, we can develop scientific temper even in our young minds also. Because this calendar is very much related with our daily life. We cannot do anything without this calendar, because this is a great timekeeper of our life. So we are promoting science through this calendar, and this being our national calendar, we should take pride in this calendar, because this is the most scientific calendar in the world. Our own scientists took efforts to formulate this calendar. So it is our national duty to promote and create awareness in our society about this national calendar. So I think this is an effort, a great effort regarding our promotion of national pride. And I think those who have joined this program will certainly be a part of it. They will be part of this great activity and they will join their hands to promote this national calendar in future. And let us work together and then success will be ours. Thanks a lot.
Dhanyavad Jainji. And this is the time to mention to all the people in Bangalore and around that this particular conference is actually open for all to have a registration. I think by this time we all are aware that this particular initiative need to be understood in a bigger way. And for this purpose, on 22nd of March, that is on 1st of Chaitra, this website has been launched
He's
by the,
showing here.
yeah.
No, it's not there. He's
Fine.
showing here.
So all the online members or the people who are watching this program might be in a position to see the website. It's bharatcalendar.in, wherein we have mentioned what is the important aspect of this two-day conference and exhibition. To mention, there are two-day conference have got 5 different elements. One is about the time and its measurement and Indian perspective, in which we would like to understand how the concept of time has got generated and how it was been evolved in the Indian subcontinent and what is the known knowledge from the different resources and the literature that is available. And this particular talk will also be given by Director, Inter-University Center for Astronomy Astrophysics, Professor Shomak Roy Chaudhary. We have a second element of this conference, evolution of Indian national calendar. And we all know, because of this reform committee, this Positional Astronomy Center, which is working under the Indian Met Department at Kolkata, and only based on this recommendation, this Positional Astronomy Center is primarily responsible for releasing and publishing the ephemeris every year. And that is where we get to know the Indian national calendar every year published by Government of India. So representation from PSC will be part of this, which is the second component of this conference. Third element is opportunities and challenges of an Indian national calendar. As Jainji mentioned, this Rashtriya Dinadarshika Prachar Manch, they are consistently working in popularizing this national calendar since last 15 years. And they are in the public, and how the reaction of the people, not only in the general term, but even in case of banks and the other such kind of organizations, how the people have faced trouble in making the bankers to understand what has been passed by the parliament of our country and why we all should really respect that. And based on the experience, so the opportunities as well as challenges are going to be discussed with the panel discussion. The fourth component of this program is an exhibition. So how the calendrical system in India as well as abroad has got evolved and how the different calendrical systems are in place. Our team from IIT Indore, from Holkar College, Indore, as well as Vikram University, along with few amateur astronomers are working on this. So this exhibition will be about 100 posters, which is going to be part of this conference and exhibition. And the fifth and last component is about having the night sky observations through which all the different astronomical elements in the sky, especially the out of 27 nakshatras, there are 12 constellations which got this important significance, especially those are being used like Chaitra, Vaisakh, Jyeshtha, Ashad. All those nakshatras or the constellations will be shown to the people of the conference. And this is how this program is being designed for the 2 days. And we all, really would like that those who are interested to understand this calendrical system from within the country as well as abroad in a systematic and methodological way, we request all the people to please come and register yourself. This is based on the shortlisting. There are certain questions are being asked to the people. Why are they interested to join this conference? And what are the important aspect of this especially this exhibition and this conference? Based on that, few people will get a chance to be part of this conference. So I appeal to all media people also that please popularize this website called bharatcalendar.in, by which the people can register. And that is all about this national conference and exhibition of this Indian national calendar. Now, this is the time to listen to the guest of honor, Dr. P. Radhakrishna, Director of LRDE, which is a prominent lab under DRDO. So I request Dr. P. Radhakrishna to please come on this.
Respected Professor K. Vasu sir, the founder of Ujjain Bharati, I'm very much honored to see him today here and meet him today. And Director, IAA, Dr. Annapurni Subramaniam, and Sri Jayant Sahasrabudhe, National Organizing Secretary, Ujjain Bharati, and today's chief guest, Srinivas S. Balli, Vice Chancellor, Nrupatunga University, Bangalore, and Sri Vivekananda Pai, and Dr. Renade, whom I was just yesterday when I started interacting with him, in fact. So, and the audience here sitting of the dais, and also all the viewers attending and watching this opening session. In fact, I was really delighted to get this invitation from Vivekananda Pai, mentioning about the national calendar of India. This is being celebrated as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, a call made by our Honourable Prime Minister under the move, like the self-reliance for the country. The similar call was made to all our DRDO labs also. Each of the lab is set with certain goals for India at 75 years, which we are all celebrating. And also, as part of this year, we have also conducted a lot of programs, and we are still conducting some programs actually. And as far as the targets concerned, set by our PM directly to us and being monitored as part of the PM dashboard, I'm proud to say here to the audience also, the lab Electronics and Radar Development under, it's called popularly LRDE, the many people in Bangalore will know, under DRDO. This lab is set with 4 targets for this year. So 4 radar systems we are supposed to demonstrate the technology to the nation, and we have to dedicate the systems to the nation. That is what is the set goal for us also. So as a citizen of India, the primarily, that is the baseline, whether I am in DRDO or otherwise. So we have the responsibility of fulfilling the goal set by our Honourable Prime Minister, Prime Minister Modi Sahab. So this topic on this calendar, national calendar, which has been already told, and our Sahasrabudhe Sahab gave some very brief introduction on that, how it happened, and then how it came into adaptation in the parliament. The constitutionally it was adopted. But one thing we should remember on this move to inculcate in everybody's minds that how rich was our not just culture, the scientific temper, the intellectuality, or the knowledge on any subject, how it was existed in our country. I think many of these younger generations are highly ignorant because of the westernized culture which was brought into our country by these Britishers and systematically killing our own culture and enforcing the Western culture, let it be the calendrical or the ruling in terms of administrative reforms, or imposing or enforcing people even to migrate from our own religion. It's not religion, in fact, actually, it is a culture, the way of life, the Hindu culture, subsidizing this and then converting people into other religions. That kind of atrocious acts which Britishers brought in and then systematically tried to kill our culture was the direst thing what these people could resort to. And on this day where we are trying to just introspect ourselves and then see that how we have to regain our own culture and bring that into action and ensure that everybody follows henceforth with this call of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which we are celebrating at the 75th year of our independence. So the kind of scientists what we had in our country, the kind of scientific temper which was built in our country, the rich and wealth of knowledge what we had. Today, if you look at, people are driven by very easy ways of, okay, science which was brought in by this Westerners like Britishers. Okay, there is a way, some systematic way of studying. Those things were well appreciated, but the thing is that killed our own culture, our own scientific temper, and then made our country slave to the Britishers. And after Britishers, even before Britishers, not sorry, after, it was before Britishers, lot of lootings, plunderings happened by plenty of invaders who came to our country, looted our country, not only just plundering and looting, they tried to destroy the rich culture in terms of temples or in terms of whatever we had built here by our own forefathers. Everything was being, destroyed. That was very, very unfortunate thing. If you just look at into our culture, in history, how the things happened, it's like we don't stop crying by knowing in depth whatever happened, like our universities, like Takshila and then Nalanda, the way they were, invaded. And the other day, Sahasrabudhe Sahab was talking on Saturday. The library at Takshila, sir, am I right, sir? Sorry, Nalanda was burning for 3 months, I think. 6 months. Imagine the kind of, what was the amount of, the books, then the culture, the literature available, and 6 months burning continuously and then making that into ashes, actually, how much would have lost the wealth of knowledge. That's where, but still there were enough remainings here and there in different forms, scriptures. Today, if you look at all the scriptures are available in the form of books. And if anybody wants to refer to any book, actually, many books are available online. And we can refer and understand the kind of knowledge available. Today, in the internet era, people Though we have smartphones or internet access, the information is we have everything online available. But thing is, the people should know what to look for and then what to study and what is useful, what is not useful. The discussion is lying with the users of the internet or smartphones or whatever actually. So this is the kind of history what we had. And the time also, like the quantum of time. Today scientists talk about milliseconds, microseconds, nanoseconds. But thousands of years back, the smallest quantum of time was defined by our own scientists. That is something called 30. It is about 30 microseconds, 130. And then largest quantum of time was defined as one kalpa. That is 1 day for Brahma. That is more than 4.32 billion years was defined long back. And also the creation on Earth. Recently scientists estimated around 2 billion years. But this was computed long back. The number, just I'll read out, 1.972949119 billion years. That was the accurate computation done by our own scientists much long back. So this is the kind of things were existing, and the great research what was done in astronomy, especially Khagola Shastra, that is defining every object in the space as a gola only, like that was only later, much later, in 14th, 15th century. We all studied in our physics books and all about Galileo, Bruno, Copernicus. These are all contemporaries of 14th, 14th century contemporaries. But much before that, more than 1,000 years back, our own scientists like Aryabhatta, Varahamihira, then Bhaskaracharya, etc. These scientists postulated already all this planetary motion, solar system. Then the complete astronomy was formulated in a well systematic way. But that is not being taught in our even today's books also. That was not being taught as an academic course. So it's very unfortunate. The move now by our Vijnana Bharati headed move with the inclusion of all our scientific communities and establishments and organizations. I hope this will definitely bring in a move and enlightenment to every one of our Indian citizens, and especially the scientific community. They should realize first what kind of rich scientific culture we had once upon a time, which was built, well postulated, well documented. Things are all available now. Whichever are not in a systematic documented way, of late many of our organizations well documented them in the form of textbooks available. Okay, everybody should refer to them and then see that this move will go on in a very big way to bring back our rich scientific culture into our country. So with this few words, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me here and then making me part of this move. So I'm really delighted to see that this move is going to be a very big success. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now, this is the time to listen to the chief guest of the function, Professor Srinivas Bali, Vice Chancellor at Nurpatunga University, Bangalore, about the whole initiative of this Indian national calendar. Please.
To begin with, I pray God Saraswati to grant knowledge to all of us for whatever we are need to do. The senior-most person in the auditorium, Professor K. Vasu, the founder of Vijnana Bharati. Dr. Annapurni Subramaniam, Director of IIA. Sri Ujjain Sahasrabudhe, National Organizing Secretary, Vijnana Bharati. Dr. Arvind Ramde, Scientist, Vijnana Prasad, New Delhi. And Dr. P. Radhakrishnan, Director, LRDE. And Vivekananji and Ramesh and all others. And the audience here in the auditorium and the online viewers. A very good afternoon to you all. It gives me an immense pleasure to be the part of this function, as this is connected to Atmanirbhar Bharata in real sense. After listening to Sahasrabudhe and Radhakrishnan, it seems I'm left with very little because they have spoken very informatively and enlightened us on various aspects. After listening to them, what I feel is probably we have all come out of the colonial rule, but not yet come out of the colonial mindset. Still, we have retained that. Probably it takes some more time, it seems, because thousands of years of invaders' rule and continuous attack on our culture, on our tradition, whatnot. So probably that has made us go in such a speed, low speed to come out of this. As far as the event is concerned, probably I'm not the right person to talk about this much because I don't have much idea about it, to be frank with all of you. What I feel is there is a need to retain and respect our heritage and culture. The Indian way of counting time is no way inferior to any method being practiced in the world. Many examples Mr. Radhakrishnan has quoted. It has been as scientific as any other method. The point to be noted here is that the Indians didn't have any sophisticated instruments for this purpose, but however, they could able to do it more accurately. That is to be noted. In spite of this also, they could able to judge the distance between the different elements in the solar system, maybe between the stars, between the planets, or star and planets, etc. Looking into this or knowing this, Bill Gates, when he visited India along with his wife in the year 2005, he stated, in many aspects, the Indians, they love their history. They have deep roots in their history, and at the same time, they see far ahead, like the field of software engineering and all that, artificial intelligence and all such things. They don't want to leave the history. They don't want. They cannot stop themselves to looking forward. It's a very good combination. It's a very beautiful combination of past and future, he was telling. So this shows the real Indian behavior. Again, coming back to the quality of what shall I say, innovations or the whatever the Indian scientists, the ancient Indian scientists, the way they contributed, the accuracy with which they work, and all that. See, for example, Aryabhata, originally he was a Keralite and migrated to Pataliputra in Bihar, belonging to 5th century. He counted the number of days to be, for the earth to take around the sun. It was 365 days, 6 hours, and 12 minutes and 30 seconds. That was the count. What is the modern or most modern calculation? It is 365 days and 6 hours. 6 hours means a difference of 12 minutes and 30 seconds. This is done with all the sophisticated methods and knowledge. Whereas long back in the 5th century, means around 1500 years ago, without any sophisticated instruments, Aryabhata could do this with a little bit difference. See the mathematical strength of that, their work. And also, as far as the day is concerned, it was 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4.1 seconds as per Aryabhata. And the modern count is 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4.091. See the difference, 4.1 second and 4.091. See the accuracy. So likewise, there were many people, as mentioned by Dr. Radhakrishnan. Aryabhata, along with him, Brahmagupta of 7th century, Bhaskaracharya I of 7th century, Bhaskaracharya II of 12th century. So, this says about the quality of the research by our ancestors. Till the Gregorian calendar came into existence, the Panchangam was based on the Aryabhatium written by Aryabhata. It was in practice. So the contribution of Aryabhata are remarkable. His endeavor in simplifying the complex mathematics, including arithmetic, algebra, trigonometry, astronomy, should be appreciated. Recognizing his work, India has named its first space satellite as Aryabhata 1. And one more thing, Copernicus, a Poland scientist, in 1543 stated that the solar-centric concept, in which planet Earth and other planets are revolving around the sun, it was 1000 years after Aryabhata stated the same thing. In the 5th century, Aryabhata made this scientific research and stated that it is the sun around which the earth rotates. Whereas it was the same thing was scientifically established by Copernicus in the year 1543. Likewise, we had lot many things in even Vedas and some of the works like Shodkarsha Manjari, Shankara Bhashya, Vishnu Purana. In every way, there are many scientific things which are which in the form of shlokas, okay, which will give a lot of information about the scientific things. Sayana Acharya in the 14th century, he was in Ujjain Empire. He also found out the speed of the light. The speed of light, as per him, it was 1,85,016.169 miles per second, and the modern calculation is 1,86,282. So even in one of the slokas, it is stated in this way that Mother Earth goes around the father sun, and the Chandra follows Earth. So it was long back. It was around 6,000 before Christ. So thousands of years ago, our people were aware of all these scientific things. So there is no meaning in saying the Western saying that the Indians didn't have any scientific temper. In the Veda times only, we had all these things with scientifically proven. Even about the gravitational force, we have lot many shlokas which mentions about the gravitational force. Siddhanta Shiromani of Bhaskaracharya, dating back to 1150. Around 500s after this, Newton has stated the same thing in the 17th century. Johannes Kepler, one of the German scientists, he wrote about the planet movement, stated one rule there. And it was 1,000 years before him, in the 5th century, Aryabhatta stated the same rule. Surya Siddhanta, wherein we have the mention of the distance between the Earth and the Moon, which is stated to be around 253 miles, the distance between Moon and the Earth. Now the modern calculations give the 252,710 miles. So all this shows that Indians, our ancestors, have contributed a lot to the world of science and technology. To our bad luck, it is less known especially in the present generation. So there is a need to create awareness among the students and the youngsters, researchers, so that they will be inspired by the Indian science history. They feel proud of their heritage. That's the need of the hour. Probably national education policy helps a lot to do this. There is a lot of scope in the national education policy. There is no distinction between curriculum, extracurricular, and activities. Therefore, anybody belonging to any stream, science, arts, commerce, whatever it is, engineering, medical, whoever is interested can take the subject of this type. So this can be a subject like open electives, wherein all the students who are interested in all such things can opt these subjects. So here in our Nrutya University, we are trying our level best. Next year onwards, we are going to introduce a subject like Indian contributions to the world of science and technology, based on probably the reference like Pride of India and the books written by Dharmapal on science and technology, heritage, and such reference. Keeping those references, we are trying to do this, and also we are trying to introduce the Vedic mathematics. These are the very small steps, of course, but a big moment is to be taken place, because many of the youngsters, the students especially, why the youngsters and students, even the teachers are not aware of the things. They simply blame the Indian culture, Indian heritage, Indian history. They don't know actually. They are to be first trained. So a light is to be thrown on the past history, the real history, of course, written by Indian then only these things can be tackled. So it's very, very essential. I really appreciate the Vijnana Bharati and all other associated organizations. This is the real contribution to the Atma Nirbhara Bharata. We are really happy to be associated with this. Any activities connected with these programs in our university are welcome. Please suggest us what to do, and we are here to support you. We are here to go along with you. Thank you. I thank the organizers giving me this opportunity to be the part of this function. Thank you once again. Thank you, Anda.
Thank you, sir, for your important message on this occasion. Now, all the viewers who are watching us live, this is about the second curtain raiser held at Bangalore. We are going to have the third curtain raiser on 5th of April, and then very next to 5th of April, 6th of April at Guwahati. On 5th, we'll have it in Kolkata. On 11th, we will have it in Mumbai, and on 12th of April, we will have it at Jammu. So we also request all the viewers to please join and spread the words for this conference, where the people interested will get a chance to get them register and understand the whole science of calendrical system across the world. Now, this is the time to request Shri Rameshji, who is the secretary of Swadeshi Vigyan Andolan Karnataka, to please propose the vote of thanks.
Namaskar, Svapatischa. It's me a pleasure for me to propose a vote of thanks of our curtain raising program, of a second curtain raising program of today, of our Indian National Calendar of India program. I would like to thank Professor K. Vasuji, who was inaugurated our today's program, was the founder of our Vijnana Bharati, was a professor of IISc, and also he was also a director of Sakri Karikudi. He was a pro vice chancellor of Madurai Kamarajan University and Cochin University. He was also a secretary for Science and Technology Department of Ministry of Department of the Government of Kerala. I would like to thank Professor K. Vasuji for inaugurating today's program. And also, I would like to thank Dr. Annapurni Subramania Madam, the director of IIA, who was given opportunity for conducting this program. I would like to thank Madam on behalf of the organizer. I would like to thank for everyone. And also, I would like to thank our guest of honor, Dr. P. Radhakrishnan, director of LRDA Bangalore. Sir, your thoughts, your words were very immersive and given us a lot of important and roles what the contribution of India has given. Thank you very much on behalf of the organizer. I would like to thank. And also I would like to thank Professor Srinivas S. Bali, the Vice Chancellor of Nupatunga University, Bangalore, which is a small baby and new university for our Karnataka. So I'm the alumni of that college. It was earlier for Government Science College. So now it is called Nupatunga University. So thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation to be the chief guest of this program. And your words and thoughts were encouraging us. Definitely, the Vijnana Bharati and the Swadeshi Vigyana Andolana Karnataka, the Karnataka chapter of Vijnana Bharati, will help you and will always have opportunity to do this type of programs, many programs in your university, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And also, I would like to thank our Jayant Sahasrabuddheji, who was a National Organizing Secretary of Vijnana Bharati, who was the brainchild and he was giving the ideas of Vijnana Bharati, to conducting and many programs and giving an opportunity for us to think in a new dimension way, what the science and technology, what all the science and all the contribution of Indian science and technology has been spreading. So he has been giving the esteemed ideas for us to think and do activities. So, and he's like in Kannada we used to call Padrasa. Padarasa means it will not going to stay in one place. Always it will be going on different parts of the way. Like our Nagarjuna, Padarasa was been started by our Nagarjuna for chemical. So like that, Jain ji was been inspiring for us all of conducting of Vijnana Bharati's so many programs, and he has given a wonderful thoughts on what is the importance of this national calendar of India. Thank you, Jain ji. And also Arvind Ranade ji. Dr. Arvind Ranade ji was a scientist from Vijnana Prasar, and he has given what is the exactly the dimension of this conducting this seminar, and what how to register, and what all these aspects will be conducted in all these 2 days of April 22nd and 23rd in Ujjain. So I would like to thank Dr. Arvind Ranade ji, and also I would like to thank our National Secretary, Sri Vivekananda Pai, who has welcomed us and gave us importance of all these programs what Vijnana Bharat is conducting. So there are many people who have supported us and helped us for conducting these programs here, especially from the IIA. I would like to thank Dr. Neeraj Mohan and also Dr. Karthikeyan. These are the 2 major people who have supported us to conducting this program in this IIA. We will be glad and we will be happy from the Vijnana Bharati. I would like to thank the faculty and the staff and the members and all the members of IIA who have supported us for conducting this program. And I would like to thank all the audience who have come from their far away places for this program. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Ramesh ji. I just would like to mention 2 important points here. The calendar that all the guests who are able to see on the dais, this is the calendar which is the Indian national calendar, published by Rashtriya Dinadarshika Prachar Manch since last 15 years. And this is the exact Indian national calendar. So this, and then we have got a diary along with it. And we have 2 representatives from Rashtriya Dinadarshika Prachar Manch from Aurangabad, Dr. Bangale and then Dr. Joshi. So we really thanks to both of them who have joined us from all the way from Aurangabad and were also part of this organizing team for this 2-day national conference to be hosted at Ujjain and Dongla both. So this is all from our second curtain raiser program. So you all are requested, before we go for the high tea, we'll have a national anthem. And after national anthem, we'll all go for the high tea. And all the viewers across the country, please stand up for the national anthem. Yeah. Before we start the national anthem, can we have one photograph with all the dignitaries on the dais? With the calendar. Thank you. Yeah, national anthem, please.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्ज्वल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे